Pulse 95. Between local lines. Notes from the Emirate.
Hello and welcome back onto the Morning Majlis. We'll talk to you now about the Sharjah Executive Council meeting. These are weekly meetings that are normally held Tuesday morning. And during this week's meeting, His Highness Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed bin Sultan Al Qasimi, Crown Prince and Deputy Ruler of Sharjah and Chairman of the Sharjah Executive Council, chaired the meeting, and they reviewed the report of the indicators of the economic situation. Now, this meeting was held in the ruler's office in the presence of His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Salim bin Sultan Al Qasimi, Deputy Ruler of Sharjah and Deputy Chairman of the Sharjah Executive Council, as well as His Highness Sheikh Sultan bin Ahmed bin Sultan Al Qasimi, Deputy Ruler of Sharjah. The report included stats and benchmark comparisons with the first half of the past 2 years, as well as prominent indicators of the performance of the industrial sector and the development of government services. And they're looking at the major thing that they looked at was the issuance of business licenses, which witnessed a growth of 29%.
That's right. According to the report, the economic situation witnessed a growth of 29% with the issuance of business licenses. That reflects the leading economic environment of the Emirate of Sharjah and also the positive impact of government incentives launched by the council during the pandemic. Now, looking at the industrial sector, it has witnessed remarkable growth with the issuance and renewal of business licenses. Also, an increase in direct cash flows in various industrial activities. Now, looking at the development and tourist projects in the Emirate of Sharjah, they have also had a significant impact on the economic growth in all cities and regions as well. Now, as for the indicators of national projects, the activities of electronic trading, home accreditation licenses, and national business licenses, they've all witnessed as well a growth in the new version. And that reflects the competitiveness of the domestic market and also the development of electronic government services provided by the department.
Yeah, indeed, Rania. And the Sharjah Executive Council also thanked the Sharjah Economic Development Department for its efforts in developing services and supporting Sharjah's economy. The Sharjah Executive Council also looked at the report by the Sharjah Directorate of Public Works for the year 2020. The report included some of the most prominent achievements of the department. In fact, according to this report, the overall achievement rate rose to 99% in the set indicators like projects being delivered on time, buildings that use environmentally friendly materials, and the use of energy-saving devices as well. So pretty remarkable, this incredibly high achievement rate for the Sharjah Directorate of Public Works. They also completed projects that amounted to 292, including governmental, educational, cultural, sports, infrastructure buildings, and many more as well.
Yep, and the report also included the Directorate's smart services, electronic transactions, and the development of work mechanisms, as well as human cadre through accreditation, certificates, courses, and development programs. The Council recommended the efforts of the Sharjah Directorate of Public Works in developing the work and raising completion rates in all administrative and technical aspects. So this is the latest and all that you need to know when it comes to the Sharjah Executive Council's meeting. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis. We'll be back again right after the sports headlines, and then we're going to talk to you about how Snapchat has become a massive platform for broadcasting companies such as the Sharjah Broadcasting Authority. All of this will be discussed right here on the Morning Majlis.
Social Media Minute. Today's clickbait worth talking about.
Social Media Minute.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the program. Now, our parent company at Pulse 95 is the Sharjah Broadcasting Authority. And as part of its efforts to expand their reach and exposure, they've signed an agreement with Snap Inc. to tap into new audiences. Essentially, SBA is going to be investing in the Snapchat platform and provide audiences with creative support in the form of video and augmented reality services.
Yeah, and commenting on this agreement, Fatma bin Sandal, governmental communications and marketing manager, she said the Sharjah Broadcasting Authority is on a mission to reach a new younger audience. With Snapchat being one of the most popular platforms for young people, this agreement allows us to address this demographic in a platform that they are very familiar with. Now, according to the sales manager of the government and telco for Snap Inc., Faisal Shams, in the Middle East, he did say that we are honored to be partnering with the Sharjah Broadcasting Authority. The agreement shows our growing popularity with broadcasters and publishers in the MENA region, and our ability to optimize video for a younger audience has proven to be popular with content creators everywhere.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how the world of consumption of media consumption of world media is growing towards, because Snapchat says that they're accelerating rapidly across MENA. They said that their monthly addressable reach has grown by 33% to 75 million unique Snapchatters year on year by the year 2021. And the platform offers regional content creators one of the most effective ways to engage with the large, growing and unique millennial and Gen Z audience. So let us know on the text lines 4215. I'm sure if you're a Gen Z or a millennial, you'll not text. But if you want to DM us on Pulse 95 Radio, you can do so as well on our Instagram pages. And let us know how you've now become, or if you consume more news or more content on Snapchat or on TikTok or even on Instagram as opposed to other platforms, and whether you are also in the digital marketing space, and talk to us about why Snapchat marketing is so important, because it's worth noting. I think we'll have to discuss this in greater detail in terms of why certain organizations are now focusing on these social media platforms as a whole.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also very interesting that SBA is going to be leveraging augmented reality in terms of what they're going to be putting forth. And we've been seeing that surging across other social media platforms as well. We've seen, for instance, Facebook, of course, Snapchat, and also TikTok now following suit with implementing augmented reality effects, and also releasing the development tools for other firms to create their own augmented reality experiences on these social media platforms as well. And in terms of the potential, it really is limitless. I think what we've been seeing a lot as well is how you could transform into certain characters by just turning on your cam on these social media apps, and they have 3D integration and motion detection, and it just keeps getting more and more sophisticated. But when you really stop and think about what you have access to now and what you can do with these apps, it really is staggering, because 10 years ago you wouldn't have even thought that you could do such things.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 10 years ago, there's a huge review at the moment saying, certain professions didn't exist, and now they do. And it's all about the world of digital marketing, or social media marketing manager never existed back in the days. This is what the usual conversation is. But what's slightly alarming is how quickly it's all evolving, because Snapchat, when it first emerged, it was the big thing. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly...
Still is, by the way.
Still is. And it's very interesting to see that it's in certain demographics. Because apparently, according to stats in the UAE, Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, Snapchat has spent 77 minutes daily on the app, especially during Ramadan, and a 20% increase year on year. But when you look at other demographic side of things, the Western world, Instagram is way more popular than Snapchat. So this is where you're sort of trying to understand and think in terms of how things are being consumed, and why is it that they want it on Snapchat. And the other aspect is what's actually changed as a result of this is our attention spans. Our attention spans now is with the swipe of a button or the swipe of the thumb, we're ready to move on to the next topic. So if you can't engage your audience in that 3 seconds, or even shorten that,
the attention grabber,
then your content is kind of goes to waste, regardless of the fact how many millions of dollars you spent on your documentary. In the first 3 seconds, it doesn't catch you. I'm sure you're not going to be on Snapchat to watch a documentary anyway, but nowadays to link and promote that documentary, you need your presence on platforms such as Snapchat to get you that hook, as they describe it as, and within a few seconds to grasp it and get on it. So where is the world going in terms of consumption? Is it going to be 1 second videos now? You never know.
That'd be really cool.
Never know. But do drop us a text on 4215 or even DM us on Pulse 95 Radio how you feel about the world of media and how you are consuming most of your news. From people that I've spoken to, you know, my brother-in-law is falling in this category of being a millennial. TikTok is his big thing. That's it. I mean, you can see day and night he's basically wearing different hats, standing by the mirror and taking some shots. And it's all about TikTok. And you speak to other people who say, I heard about this on Instagram. And you're thinking, well, it was published in an article in this newspaper. And you're thinking, no. I saw it on stories. I don't know what the story is about, but I heard it. And this is what it is. People want to remember these headlines, and that's it.
It's their source. Yeah.
You never know. Well, let us know on the text line, guys, if you are working in the digital space and even in mass media, and how it's very important to be on social media platforms. Stay with us in the Morning Majlis. We are going to be moving on very quickly, and up next, we shift our focus towards arts and how Islamic Arts Festival continues its preparations for the 24th session here in the Emirate of Sharjah. This is the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95 and a very warm welcome back onto the Morning Majlis. We're going to be talking to you about a startup in Pakistan that's been able to raise about $30 million in Series A. The funding round saw participation from global investors, including US-based Accrue Capital, Japan's Saison Capital, Zain Capital from the United Arab Emirates, and BNY Venture Partners, as well as Silicon Valley-based Growth Fund. It's a startup called Bazaar. They've raised $30 million in a Series A, led by Silicon Valley-based early-stage venture capitalists, Defy Partners, and Singapore-based Wavemakers Partners. The round is the largest Series A in Pakistan and takes Bazaar's total funding now to $38 million.
Yeah, and this round also saw participation from global investors, including US-based Accrue Capital, Japan's Saison Capital, UAE's Zain Capital, and BNY Venture Partners, and also a Silicon Valley-based growth fund. Now, existing investors, Indus Valley Capital, Global Founders Capital, Next Billion Ventures, and After Global also participated. Several angel investors, including current and former leaders of Antler, Kareem, Endeavor, Gumroad, LinkedIn, and also Notion joined the round as well. Now, we also have a statement from the partner at Defy Partners. He said that what Bazaar has managed to accomplish in the last year is incredible. We are extremely impressed by the speed and robustness with which they build and deploy. So as Defy's first investment into Pakistan's tech ecosystem, we feel Bazaar is on its way to create a category-defining company for the country.
Yeah, and Bazaar is essentially a business-to-business marketplace for merchants in Pakistan. It provides merchants the ability to procure inventories at a standard price and also choose from a much larger catalog. It's currently available in Karachi and Lahore, Pakistan's largest city as well. And this is absolutely incredible as well. There are about 5 million micro, small, and medium-sized businesses in Pakistan, and like India, even as a significant portion of the population are all going online, merchants remain unconnected, and that's the demand that this Bazaar app is tapping into, who they say they've surveyed shops going door to door and found that the merchants are indeed not connected, and a solution for that was very much needed, and I think that's what's generating the hype. It's just something that wasn't there before, and they've managed to accomplish a lot within a year. This startup is just 1 year old.
Yeah, it was founded in June 2020 by Saad Jangda and Hamza Jawed, and their personal mission was to bring together and cultivate talents both in the country and the diaspora to ultimately create a platform that further enables entrepreneurship in the country. And they both come from very prominent businesses. Saad came from the Kareem company, and Hamza also came as a consultant based at McKinsey and Company. So wonderful work by these two venture capitalists, and looking at their businesses, it really is great to see what's happening, especially when it comes to encouraging young ones to become entrepreneurs. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis. Up next, we will be concluding our discussions here on the Morning Majlis. So we'll be talking to you a lot about things that are going to be shaping the headlines. We'll do a bit of a wrap-up because apart from sports, one particular moment to celebrate here in the United Arab Emirates is the emergence of the Suhail star, which technically means that summer is over or nearing its conclusion. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis.
It's the Morning Majlis.
Hello, welcome back on to the Morning Majlis, and we're going to be discussing sports and what's been happening around that arena. Now, Real Madrid, they have made a $188 million bid for Paris Saint-Germain's France forward, Kylian Mbappe, according to reports. So basically, Mbappe is out of contract at the Parc des Princes next summer and has so far refused to sign a new deal, despite PSG's attempts to get the France international to commit to the club. Now, Spain's Marca said the move was a first step by Real Madrid, who have long had their sights on the 22-year-old World Cup winner who scored 42 goals in all competitions for PSG last season, has reportedly told PSG that his dream is to move to Real Madrid as well. What do you guys think of that?
I think it's a very, very interesting time for football right now, with the transfer window closing in about a week, and we're following multiple teams try to fill the gaps in their rosters. For instance, there's a whole talk about Man City and Tottenham and the player Harry Kane. Are Chelsea done spending after bringing Romelu Lukaku back to Stamford Bridge? We're also going to be seeing what Barcelona's going to do, how they're going to balance their books now that Lionel Messi is out as well. So, the deadline being August 31st. I really can't wait to hear what Omar Adouri is going to say on his show today, which is going to be airing at 3. That's our sports show, the halftime show. So, I think that's really, really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about getting the new players on board, and also about rescuing some players, because at the moment what we've heard is Australia has evacuated Afghan women footballers. The Australian government has evacuated more than 50 women footballers and athletes, as well as the dependents from Afghanistan, following that appeal by world bodies such as FIFA and FIFPro. The statement by the International Footballers Federation expressed gratitude to Australia, and according to FIFPro, these young women, both as athletes and activists, have been in a position of danger, and on behalf of their peers around the world, we thank the international community for coming to their aid. Afghanistan's former football captain Khaleda Popal described the evacuation of the group as an important victory. So this is what's happened at the moment, and it's going to be a bit of an interesting ride now for the world of sports in that country, because Afghanistan's cricket team was also meant to be playing Pakistan as their home series in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka announced a 10-day national lockdown, so they decided to move the series to Pakistan before deciding that, the players are now in so much of mental distress that they can't continue. So it's a bit of a shame in terms of what's happening to their sports, but we'll definitely keep a close eye on the sporting developments for you. But one thing that we need to keep an eye out is the weather. Suhail star has been spotted, which technically means that summer is over. Do you agree that summer is over while stepping out?
Yes, it's an entirely different vibe. I don't know what it is, but I no longer feel like Oh goodness, it's way too hot. It's completely unbearable. Now granted, I do stay indoors, but you just sense it. You feel it in the air on your drive this morning. You roll down the window, you're sitting in your car. The entire vibe is different. I don't know what it is. And it all started yesterday. I didn't even read about the Suhail Star thing, but I could just feel it in the air.
I feel winter officially starts like the end of November. People feel like, no, it starts the end of September or the beginning of October. For me, I'm a winter person, by the way.
Yeah.
100%. So that's why I wait until the end of November. That's when I actually feel it's winter.
Yeah, I mean, I had this conversation in our studios with our back support staff as well, and they asked me, saying, okay, if there's a Suhail star for winter, what is the star for summer? I said 10th of February. After 10th of February, it just gets hot, and winter starts, used to back in the days.
Actually, not February. I think it's not February.
It's good to exaggerate.
March.
It's good to exaggerate. 10th of February gets hot. Why not?
Really?
Yeah.
Just throw it out there.
March. I think March.
Yeah,
that's
after
March.
technically after March,
Yeah.
but you never know what you know. We've seen torrential rain during the summer, so you never know, or you know what's happening. But so far, we are optimistic that things are going to get better. It's only going to get better week by week, which is good because now that we've passed August. Always good news. But let us know on the text lines 4215 how you are preparing for the winter months, because the barbecue season is going to be back on board, the outdoor camping. So much to look forward to in this country, and we're really excited about it. So guys, text us on 4215 what are your winter plans, and for the time being the Morning Majlis shall be heading off and getting ready to prepare a very important day tomorrow.
That's right, it's going to be Emirati Women's Day. We've got a slew of interviews and discussions to be had with some of the most notable women to come from the country as well, so it's going to be very exciting for us. Until then, if you'd like to check out the bits from the show, head over to our podcast pages at Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts. Just type Morning Majlis in the search bar. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well at Pulse 95 Radio, and we'll be back tomorrow with you at 7 a.m. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned to Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of the Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse.